Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, see what we can do.
Um.
And I hate not being able to go sideways. Oh, there you
There
go.
we go. Okay.
What orientation do you have yours at? Is it straight up and down or is it sideways?
Straight up and down.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Hey, what you eating?
What's that?
What you eating?
Oh, wings from Applebee's.
Wings from Applebee's. Damn. Have me know Applebee's wings in a minute.
Yeah, I love them. Okay, so I did something really fun.
What'd you do?
I went to ChatGPT to ask for our questions.
I adore that. That is fucking amazing.
So what I did is I put in random things like, give me questions about TV shows, give me questions about nerd culture, give me questions about the 80s, give me questions about 90s cartoons. So it just spit out like them.
That should be the title of the video.
Oh, I didn't even. Well, we can go back and edit that, right?
We can, but from now on, like, we will also make that a thing. Like,
Yeah,
legitimately.
dude,
People will click on that just because.
AI's here, we might as well use it.
Damn straight. Let's use that shit. Fuck yeah. Oh my God.
All right, yo, welcome.
Easter Sunday of all days.
Yeah. Welcome to Geek Pulse Live. I'm Nerdy Dustin. This is
Noah Drake Bell.
Usually we're next to each other, but it's Easter Sunday, so we're with our families. So we thought that we don't want to leave y'all high and dry, so we're still gonna have our live. We're just from our own. I'm in the studio. Noah's in his studio, and we're still gonna do the buckets. Only difference is
we have risen.
I've got the bucket. He'll have his own bucket. We're gonna ask each other questions. Same thing. I'll ask a question, and then I'll answer the same question, and so on. If you're just joining us, all of my questions came from ChatGPT.
Tell them what that is for the people
so
out there that don't know.
It's AI. So what I did is I went into the program. I asked it to give me questions about TV shows, 80s, pulp culture, 90s cartoons. All the nerdy stuff, right? So it spit me out a bunch of questions. So if you are not using ChatGPT, it's a really cool tool, and I absolutely love it. AI has just become really advanced. It's like
too advanced.
It's like talking to a real person. So
for you, I got a question for you right off the bat. Question for you. See if you can see how quickly you can recognize what my sweater is for what movie it's from. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Oh, that's The Last Dragon.
Yeah, baby. Got it at Goodwill the other day.
Dude, that is so sick.
All of my questions are going to come from the book Letters to E.T. So all the questions are going to be what kids asked E.T. in 1989. No, I'm just joking.
All right, y'all. We start off every live by asking each other about the week.
Yeah.
This week's been kind of slow, except we got a lot of Star Wars news thrown at us. And I haven't talked to Noah yet about the Star Wars news, so I'm curious on his thoughts. So let's start off with, what are your thoughts about the 3 new movies?
I'll let you talk. The Last Jedi, and I love Rey, and that's what you're talking about. So, all right, no. Let's just talk about it all in seriousness. The only one I give a shit about is the one with James Mangold, the First Jedi, or like set in the Old Republic, or whatever it is. That's the one I'm most excited about. I don't hate the idea that we get a movie with Rey set 15 years after, because maybe they can erase every bad decision they made. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will. But yeah, no, it's a cool announcement. We get Star Wars for the next 25 years, apparently.
Yeah,
your son will be watching brand new Star Wars movies.
For real. I am okay. So me personally, I'm excited for the first and the second movie that got announced. I'm not excited for the third one. I think being able, and I'm excited for what they're doing. Right. Yeah. So the point of these 3 movies is to finally connect everything so you can go watch the movies and not be super freaking confused. So the first movie is the beginning. It's to show the start of the Jedi It's to build the entire universe, right? The second movie, which is the one I'm most excited for, is their Star Wars Television's Endgame. All these shows we've watched, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, the upcoming Ahsoka show, this movie ties all of them together, with Thrawn being the main bad guy, and you'll meet him in Ahsoka.
Yep.
And that'll tie in going into the sequel movies, right? And then the last movie is set after the sequel movies, where Rey is building the new Jedi Order. Now, the only thing that semi excites me about that movie is who the hell the bad guy's going to be, because as of right now, there is no bad guy in Star Wars, right? So Rey is just there. So that kind of intrigues me. But overall, I'm not. That's the movie I guess I could do without. But I like what they're doing. But the thing I like the most is who, I know we're not fans of Kathleen Kennedy, but I'm excited for who she's put in charge of these movies.
About damn time. About damn
Like
time.
Noah said, we're getting Mangold. He is going to slay that movie. But Dave
Filoni.
Filoni is doing the second movie, and we love Dave. And I'm assuming, Noah, John's going to have a say in that movie too, because he's also the one building this TV universe. So that's my thoughts.
They should co-direct it like the Daniels, man. They should just be co-directors. That's all they should do.
I mean, that's what they've been doing.
And who gives a shit who does the Ray movie? But like you said, the only cool thing is what villain? Make one up. Make it up.
Well, they're going to have
Make
to
one
now.
up. I don't know. They could dig deep and do some crazy lore or whatever. Man, just like this, I love what they're doing and the connectivity. But I was in Goodwill just the other day, and I was just looking on the shelves, and I seen like nothing but like Rogue Squadron books and all of these. Like when there was, those were our fill in. The novelizations were our gaps. And I'm like, man, I fell in love with all those stories. And just a part of me is still bitter that I don't get that. Like they've only brought in little pieces, right, of that. I want a Shadows of the Empire movie. That's what I would love.
You know, speaking, I kind of the TV stuff and this movie that Filoni's working on kind of feels like Shadows of the Empire.
It
They've even
does.
kind of referenced the Thawne books and stuff like that. So we'll see. Oh, did you see who's playing Thawne?
Yeah.
The actual actor from Rebels.
I knew that's who they would go with. I mean, like,
Oh.
come on, like it's Filoni, and it's like Filoni's no baloney, baby. He knows what he's doing, and that's exactly who should play the character. We only saw the back of his head in the trailer, so I'm like, great. Don't show him. Do not show. I would not even show Thrawn in a trailer at all. We know he's there. Just
No.
wait for the reveal in the episode. Wait for it.
I mean, he's the Thanos level bad guy, so I would
Yeah.
keep him as So
Do you think that for the more casual viewer, maybe just the people that jumped onto Mando and Book of Boba Fett, they didn't really watch a lot of the Clone Wars? You think that will mean enough? Do they do enough job building up him as a Thanos level bad guy?
Well, Rebels is one of the biggest shows that Star Wars has ever done, viewership wise. So I would say, yeah, I think a lot of people will know who he is.
I hope so. I hope the newer generation is. You know what? I honestly would love if like they did. You know how of course there's like those one shots, like the Marvel special presentations. I really wish they would do something like that, at least on Disney Plus, or put it out there that is just like a primer. It's like, hey guys, right before you watch Ahsoka, watch this, and it's made by Disney and Marvel to capsulate Rebels and all of that, like just to get people up to speed to like fill in the gaps.
I like that. They still might. So speaking of Ahsoka, that's the other big news we got. We got our first solid trailer for her show.
She's so beautiful and she's so majestic and amazing, and
for real.
Oh God. I love seeing like the recreation of like the very last like episode of Rebels, like the very last, legitimately, and it's like in reverse shot. I don't like this long hair on Sabine Wren, but
So yeah, my favorite things about that trailer where we finally, now granted we got to see Zeb in Mandalorian, but just seeing the Rebel characters in live action. So if you don't know, Rebels is hands down my favorite piece of Star Wars content. I like Rebels more than the movies, you all. More than the books, more than the games. I think Rebels is a masterpiece.
More than the
So
holiday special?
nothing beats the holiday special. So I'm hands down. I'm excited to see them in live action. I think I think Ezra you see in like a hologram or something like that, but you don't
You
get to
do.
really see
Yep.
him. And then spoiler alert, Kanan is dead. If you're not been watch Rebels, but I'm guessing we'll get him. I'm gonna hope we get him as a spirit.
We can.
We can that
Oh
way.
man, how good did Ray Winstone look? Dude.
Dude, dude,
Orange lightsaber.
Ray Stevens.
That's it. Ray Stevens. I don't know why I said Winstone. Ray Stevens in his orange lightsaber. Oh my god, he looked amazing.
So sick. I am the biggest Ray Stevens fan. I love everything this dude. He's my favorite part of the GI Joe's Retaliation. I loved him as the Punisher. This guy is amazing. I'm so
The
excited he's
Thor
in Star Wars.
films.
What's
He
that?
was great. He was great in his minor role in the Thor films.
Yeah, yes. He is just he knocks it out of the park. So I'm
A
excited
lot
for
of
that.
Star Wars celebration. We didn't get the trailer for what's that one movie that's sort of like kids like going on like a ship
Um,
or hijacking us whatever. It's like the Goonies meets like something or another. What's that called?
wait, you talking about Bad Batch?
No, not Bad Batch. It's a new
There's
live
the
action project, and it is
the Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. That's it. I
I
don't give
don't
two
think
shits
they're
about that.
I don't think they're done with it or what they've actually.
They
We
showed a
haven't.
trailer at Celebration, but we didn't. It was not released to the public.
Oh, they did. Okay, I haven't heard much about that show to be honest with you. So I didn't know what was going on with that. And then we're getting a Young Jedi show. Then that's targeted towards kids. So Tyler,
Younglings.
our friend of the show, Tyler, we were talking about that show the other day, and I was like, how morbid would that show be if it ended with Anakin slaughtering them all?
What's up, Creed? What's going on, man? I forgot to give you a shout out. Yeah, no, that's well. I mean, we all know how it ends.
Jar Jar Binks saves Grogu, and then everybody else dies.
Solid. End it. Wrap it up there. What a great lead in. Creed, how you doing tonight, bud? Hopefully you're doing well. Do you got the chat notifications on your phone, Dustin?
I don't see any chat. If he's on your channel, you'll see the chat. I think I won't.
Oh, weird.
If it's like TikTok, you see your chat and I see my chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that. I think I'm seeing your channel or the main channel chat. Either way, I just hit the little button that looks like a talkie icon. And I said I hit live chat, and there it popped up.
Okay, yeah, Creed. Okay, yeah. Hey, Creed, what's up? I didn't see your message, bud.
Cool. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And I also want to make sure that we didn't do a test for sound because usually you and I do that. So hopefully people have heard us the whole time.
Hopefully.
But yeah, no, it was a great great week for Star Wars. And a great week for video gamers. Let me tell you about the biggest biggest box office weekend. It set some sort of record: $377 million worldwide. 377. Mario, Creed's boy, knocked it out of the park. I still haven't seen the movie though. Still haven't seen it.
So good. It's so good. Peaches, 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 peach. I love it.
That should be your ringtone. You know, so sometimes when I can tell that critics pan something, it's going to be dynamite. And here's what I've not seen the film, but they made it for a Mario. I was talking to my daughter, Cordelia, because her and her boyfriend went and saw it. And they're like, well, critics hated it. I'm like, well, those critics are, like just some old white people that don't really love Mario. No, this movie is probably made specifically for Mario fans. And if you're just a casual, I could probably understand the fact that you didn't really love it. But I don't know. I've heard a mixed bag, but I'm going to wait and make up my own opinion.
So as a former film critic, I tried to, after the movie, try to figure out why they hated it so much. I got nothing. I mean,
They say the story is weak, is what people were saying.
See, I was thinking that, but it's not. The pacing is fine. My only gripe with the movie was just missed opportunities.
Well, they can't. Yeah, I'm sure. And like at least now though that after I'm opening that big, they just greenlit the Nintendo verse, man. The Nintendo verse is now happening. We're living in a world.
It's happening. Give me my
all
live
those
action.
All those things we're saying. Metroid movie. Star Fox movie. All that shit's happening.
I just want my Zelda movie and I'll be happy.
Zelda never speaks in any game.
Who? What?
No, Link. I thought about that the other day because I was listening to someone talk about how like Chris Pratt's voice. Link never talks.
Oh, and the Link in the game. Oh yeah. Well, he talks.
So how weird will it be? Well, he just does it, and like voice it like shit like that. He never says a word.
Well, Mario just says, "It's me, I'm Mario."
At least those are words that we know.
But yes, I hope to get. I want my Smash Brothers movie, and there's a scene in this movie that shows something like that, so it's possible. So, but we'll stop talking about Mario because Noah hasn't seen it. I don't want to spoil anything for him because it is a delight, and I want.
I will talk about if Creed jumps in. It's like, hey guys, let's talk about Mario, and I will, Creed. I'll take the bullet for you. I'll take a bullet bill for you, Creed. Because for me, like nothing spoils it. Like I found out, and I guess it's advantageous to me. I reach and I look for spoilers, and then when I watch the media, it still doesn't ruin my experience. I'm just a spoiler-free person. I'm spoiler-proof.
Spoiler-proof.
Spoiler-proof. I'm gonna wear that as a shirt. Spoiler-proof. That's gonna be my new catchphrase.
Speaking of spoilers, a lot of these new trailers that have come out recently, man, God, they are spoiling way too much of the movie.
I've read spoilers for the next episode of The Mandalorian.
I've been loving Mando. Also, real quick side note, has nothing to really do with what we're talking about, but I just looked at my desk and saw these. If you have if you have a Dollar Tree next to you anywhere and you're into collecting movies, they're doing buy two for $1. So hit that up.
You're talking about 50 cents each?
50 cents each. The only way I'm buying this movie it's 50 cents.
Man, if you ain't watching that on 4K, you ain't watching it. Oh. That movie ain't never gonna be on 4K. I am excited about the House of 1,000 Corpses. I will actually probably go to a Best Buy and snag that or order it online. Whatever the fuck you have to do to get it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Steelbook, and they're doing a special edition. I think of all 3 movies. Yeah, I'm over the moon for that Steelbook.
Did you pick up any other movies this weekend or this week? Besides the ones, did you pick up any other movies this week or this weekend other than ones you got at the Dollar Tree?
Did I? Actually, no. This week I didn't. This Tuesday and last Tuesday, I did not go on my movie hunt solely because I've been spending time at the hospital. So the only reason I picked these up is because I live next to a Dollar Tree on my way home, and I was like, they're doing that deal right now. Let me see what they got. So I stopped in there and picked up a few things. But no, I have not bought any of the new movies the past 2 weeks. So I have a lot of stuff to catch up on.
You do. I finally watched Fall. I'd not seen it before. So that was actually quite good. I enjoyed that. Except for like I guess spoilers if you guys are watching this, you've never seen Fall. Hey, we both fell in love with the same man. I'm like, man, you didn't need all that in there.
Oh yeah, that side plot. Yeah,
it went nowhere.
That's when they do stuff like that, it's only in the movie to extend the movie.
Exactly, because otherwise it'd be like, what are we gonna do up here?
Most subplots are movie extensions. Horror movies are great at that.
They are. And for new TV, I saw the first 2 episodes of Rise of the Pink Ladies, and Emma, our good buddy from Righteous Gemstones, who we had the pleasure of interviewing, is Rizzo. Not fucking Rizzo. That's weird. Is Rizzo. That's crazy.
She was so good.
That show is phenomenal, by the way. That show
really, it is.
And I also recommend on Hulu. I think it's called Up There or Inside or something. It's a musical as well by the guys that did Tick Tick Boom, and it stars the guy that plays Cisco Ramon from The Flash.
Oh,
dude, I've not seen this. It's a musical, and every episode has musical numbers, and it's a beautiful love story. It's crazy good. It's called Up There because each character, the man and the woman, have a bunch of like voices like in their head, but they're like real people. One's like the domineering mom, and one is like an ex-fiance. So like when they're like trying to come together, these voices played by other actors in musical numbers. It's so good, man. It's so good.
I will check. You had me at musical.
Yep. And Cisco, man, like if you didn't know, that guy that played Cisco fucking could sing. All these people could sing. But yeah, Rise of the Pink Ladies, it's guilty. Like I'm a casual Grease fan. I mean, like, Mary's a huge Grease fan, but I was watching these 2 episodes, and I'm like, this shit is so good. It's so good. It's so good, man. I don't care if 1,000 people just stop following the channel right now based on and I might lose some horror cred, but god dang it, that shit's so good.
Yeah, I do love the Grease. I'm not a fan of Grease 2, but Grease 1.
No one
All
hates.
right. Should we
Michelle
get into
Pfeiffer
this?
hates Grease 2.
All right. Should I start or do you want to start?
You can start and see what Chat GPT did.
All right. Excuse me, y'all. What's a world record you think you could break?
Oh, I fucking love this world record that I think I could break. Let's see. I could break the world record for most fish caught at one time. I could break the world record for most handsome man on the planet. Break the world record for longest frisbee throw. I could break the world record for medium, probably like medium speed fastball. I could probably throw a knuckle curve better than anyone else. I could probably break the record for most character socks owned by a single individual. And the last one, I could probably break the record for most improved anything.
Oh, okay.
Just off the top of my head, not to brag.
What
about you?
Well, I would like to break the record for most owned movies. The record I think right now is like 250,000. So I have a ways to go. Records that I could actually think I could break. Most donuts eaten in a minute.
Done. Big size or little, like Intamins?
What's that?
Regular donut size or Intamin size donuts?
Regular donuts. Basically any food challenge I think I could break.
Hey, most Bean Boozled eaten in a...
There you go. Yeah, food challenges I think are the only thing at the current moment I could beat. When I was younger and in shape, maybe like skateboarding tricks, the most kick flips in an hour, things like that. But
I do love the idea of like eating challenge. Let's say you and I we take this on the road. Like we're doing we do like, hey, we know that like somebody famous is going to be at a state fair or something like that. It's like, hey, let's go meet like David Hasselhoff. Like he's just going to be up in like Colombia or somewhere like that. But then there's also at the state fair a legitimate eating contest. So if you had to choose between like a hot dog eating contest or like a donut eating contest, which one would like you just immediately go for?
Oh, the hot dog.
Yeah, same.
I think my stomach would hurt less.
Yeah. Would you do the whole thing of dunking that shit in the water and like guzzling down the bun, or would you just go like right in?
No, I would do it. What's his name strategy, where you eat a hot dog, you take a regular drink of water, and then you go into your next hot dog. I don't know that I would be soaking the hot dogs.
I don't like the idea of a wet hot dog bun with water. I don't.
No, I don't like that. No.
That's bad. No.
All right, what's your question?
All right, so if you could be if you're like your soul is transformed into a famous car just from a TV show, not movies, and you become that car, what car would it be?
Knight Rider.
Why?
Look at it.
Yeah, but like these people, like some of these people, like Knight Rider. What is that? Even though I mentioned David Hasselhoff being in Colombia for some reason, so we're on the same page there. Why would you want to be Kit from Knight Rider?
Well, he looks badass. He has a badass driver. He goes on the best adventures. He's the best. He could outrace any of these other cars that have voices and AI inside of them. Those are my answers.
For me, I'd be the General Lee because sometimes Daisy Duke would sit on me.
Which Daisy Duke, though?
Any Daisy Duke.
You're not wrong. It's a good answer. Plus, you get to fly through the air every now and then.
All the time. And they got the best theme song.
That Daisy. Speaking of old television, you know what I did the other night? Out of
Watch
shits
old
and
television.
giggles. So I can't go to sleep without my TV on, and I always like binge watch something to fall asleep to. I decided the other night to go to bed to Leave It to Beaver from the 50s.
Wow, man, I've really not seen that in a long time.
I hadn't watched that shit since I was a kid. I forgot how simplistic and just all around nice the world used to be. Even when they were bullying the Beav, they were being nice about it. So,
Man,
I
times
don't
they
know.
are changing. I did the same thing, but I watched all the Carol Burnett show the other day.
I actually own a lot of her show. Yeah, I love the Carol Burnett show. Yes.
Between that and Mama's Family, god damn, love me some.
Oh yes, yes. Mama's Family was the show I'd watch before I went to school every morning. It was Mama's, and then Designing Women would come on, and then
Love
I'd watch
Designing Women.
those before.
Yes. All right,
All
what you
right,
got? Fire another question away.
all right. So okay, here you go. All right, this is teen dramas. What is the best? One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek, The OC, Friday Night Lights, or Everwood?
Oh shit, I hate all of those shows.
And I was gonna say, I don't know that Noah's even seen half of these, nor does he like any of these shows.
I'm gonna go with Everwood because I, on a whim, bought like all the seasons for $1 each, and I watched those, and I'm like, yeah. But for me, I would say Smallville, but you know,
Smallville's not really considered a teen drama. Well, I
it
guess it
is.
is.
It is. Let's be honest.
Um,
It is. But like, yeah, honestly, I could be like transparent with y'all. I've seen maybe one episode of One Tree Hill, 0 episodes of Dawson's Creek. Everwood's the only other one that Everwood's the only one I've ever watched.
so all these shows are pretty much the same thing. They're just based on different parts of the country. It's like Friday Night Lights is in Texas. One Tree Hill is in the East Coast. Dawson's Creek's also on the East Coast. Actually, they're the same town. The OC is on the West Coast, and then Everwood is in like the Midwest and Colorado. Honestly, I think it is probably maybe Everwood for me too because I'm obsessed with Chris Pratt's character in that show. I like the
Just say
story.
that you're obsessed with Chris Pratt.
Uh, I like the story maybe more, but One Tree Hill dragged on too long. It had like 11 seasons or something. The OC, actually, you know what? Nope. The more I think about these shows, the OC is my favorite because of Seth Cohen, because he was a huge nerd, so it added a nerd aspect to the show. Like in season 3, him and what's his name? The guy that plays Jimmy Olsen in the DCU, I can't think of his name, but anyway, they make a comic book, and it's actually a legit comic book that I'd want to read. I'm gonna go with the OC. All right, your turn,
Okay.
bud.
All right. So everyone watching this knows that we kind of each have our kind of own style, and your style is, beanies and or just like character design hats. So let's say that you couldn't wear a beanie or you couldn't wear like a ball cap, but you had to pick a hat to wear. What other hat would you wear?
Oh wow, probably a fedora.
Okay, that's a good one. So like, would it be a black fedora? Would it
No,
be
no, 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 no. I would wear a bandana.
okay?
So
Prison Mike.
from 2006 to 2009, I basically lived in a bandana uh, because I worked on the railroad.
All the live long day.
So I mostly had a bandana because it was easy, especially when I was like cutting up sidewalk
Bodies.
to put in a crossing or something. I could take my bandana and put it over my face, and then when it gets really hot, I can pull it back. Bandanas are just like super efficient when you're doing construction work and shit because you can use it to wipe your head off. You can use it to cover your face. So yeah, I'd be wearing a bandana, and I look sexy as hell with a bandana.
Solid choice. You should wear a bandana on the next live stream.
If I can find one, I will.
You should. You should.
What about
That's
you?
cool. Bring it back. Bring that back, man.
You don't really wear hats, so what would you wear?
So for me, like I like to wear hats on occasion. I've like when I go out, I don't wear hats because you wear hats. Like I do like a ball cap, but mine's like a trucker hat. Like I love a trucker hat from like the 1970s. However, for me, it would probably be a cowboy hat. Let's just
I was
be
gonna
honest.
say I've seen you in trucker hats a lot, and I
I
have seen
do
you in a
love
cowboy hat. It
I
works.
do love trucker hats. You said fedora, which I almost picked. I've never worn a bowler hat. I want to see what I look like in a bowler hat.
Ooh, me
You know what I'm
neither.
saying? Yeah, I think a bowler hat would be a good style. And just also that hat that has like the spinny propeller on top. I've always wanted to wear one of them hats. I never wore that one either. I need a hat like that.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
What about that? Like, would people still think I would be cool in a fucking hat like that? Probably.
Probably. All right. Oh, should there be a Lethal Weapon 5?
I think they're making a Lethal Weapon 5, and there should be. Spend like 10 years between films. Bring it back. Yes, I think so. Because of Mel Gibson and what he is now. And what he can become. And Danny Glover, like, it's super old. They're going to be old. Let's make a Lethal Weapon 5 to end the series once and for all. And yeah, let's Murtaugh and Griggs.
Yeah. So yeah, Lethal Weapon 5 has been in development for the past 10 years. Actually, longer than that.
Since
That's
Lethal
like
Weapon 4.
I think it's been in production. Well, it's had its script since like 2010 or something. It's been a long time.
Hey, but we're getting a new Beverly Hills Cop movie, so anything can happen.
It's true. I would love to have a 5 to end those characters, and give them the ending they deserve, because they didn't really get 1 and 4. But after watching Donald or Danny, is it Donald or I get those two confused now.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
It's not
Seeing him.
Nope, it's Danny Glover. I was trying to fuck.
It is Danny Glover. Seeing him in Jumanji, I don't know that he could do Murtaugh anymore.
Now, if you're talking about a Lethal Weapon 5, I've already seen it.
The TV show?
Well, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. When they do the Lethal Weapon episodes, I don't know if that's some of my favorite episodes where they do. But also, now that you're thinking about it, let's just have Donald Glover play Danny Glover's.
See, no, that's what I would do. I would do kind of like what Beverly Hills Cop did. Or not Beverly Hills Cop. What Bad Boys was doing, where they were setting up new characters for a new franchise. I would do that. I would have like Murtaugh. I would have Riggs and Murtaugh have like their kids, because they're definitely old enough to have grown ass kids. I'd have their kids be in the force, and then I got to team up with them, and then have them to retire and.
What about this too? Because like no one gives like that's not like so it's not a protected in a way. It's kind of well loved, but not like it's not like on a pedestal. What if Riggs and Murtaugh are bad cops now, like in Training Day, and they're the villains of the movie?
That would ruin the past 4 movies, so I'm not for that.
No, that's the past in the past. Let it go.
Now, what I would love to have is a throwback to, I believe it's Lethal Weapon 2 or 4. I can't remember. The one where Murtaugh's on the toilet with a bomb attached to it. You go back and do that again, except you let the bomb actually go off and it kills them both.
Yeah.
Epic. They're both gone.
You think Joe Pesci? Joe Pesci would be down, right?
Oh, Joe Pesci. Yeah, and Chris Rock. Chris Rock replaced Joe Pesci's character in the 4th one. Have them both come back.
Have everybody.
Have Lethal Weapon 5 be Lethal Weapon 5 Endgame.
Yes. And you call it the lethalest weapon, and then that's it. Not even call it Lethal Weapon.
You have Murtaugh and Riggs in the nursing home, and they're trying to fight crime in the nursing home.
And then also, they're trying to fight crime in the nursing home, and then you have a small cameo from Bruce Campbell dressed as Elvis, just like show him. And it's like a tie-in with like Bubba Hotep.
Yes, I'm all for
that. All
right.
You ready for your next question?
All right, let's do this.
All right. So you have to pick one of these 3. So you're going to be animated, and you do the voice as yourself, either on The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, or Futurama.
South Park.
Nope. I intentionally did not pick South Park because I knew that's what you would say. So you could and not classic. Like I'm talking like now. There's no more Futurama. They're making a new Futurama series, but like so. And for me, I would say King of the Hill. So that's mine's not on the list either. But it's Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, or Futurama.
Okay, so I never got into Bob's Burgers. I've watched episodes, so I know what the show's about. But I'm not into it, so I wouldn't want to be in that universe. I was obsessed with Futurama for like the first 4 seasons, and then I kind of just grew out of it. Simpsons, I was obsessed with The Simpsons up until I was like 25. So I guess I would do The Simpsons just because I know that world. I know all the characters. I could get around. I wouldn't get lost. I would go the Simpson route.
Nice choice. Nice choice. For me, it'd be Bob's Burgers. Look, I'm a huge Bob's Burgers fanatic. There's songs all the time. I love singing songs. And just like, H. John Benjamin and everybody, like, that would just be a fun read for me, like being in the room with those folks. Like, I would crack up. I don't know how I'd keep a straight face, but yeah, I'd be a Bob's Burger character for sure.
All right. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Also, I didn't write any questions down previously. I'm just thinking of all these at the top of my head as we go.
Okay, so we're getting questions from Chat GBT, and we're getting questions from Noah's
Improv.
The front cortex of his brain.
Yep.
Okay, so some of these questions are MTV questions because I just put in.
Yes, you did.
Ask me MTV questions.
Wear the right jacket for it, baby. Come on.
All right, so Robin Big or Fantasy Factory?
Robin Big. God dang. There shouldn't even be a Fantasy Factory on there. Robin Big. I sometimes to this day still just say Bobby Light, just out of nowhere. Like I'll just say Bobby Light and start singing the Bobby Light song. And I love Robin Big. I loved it so very much. And Big Black. I dang it. I wish he was still alive. But yeah, I actually like hearing Rob Dyrdek talk about like his relationship and they had like a brothership, like a kinship, and it's just Fantasy Factory, just like, yeah, I don't know. Robin Big, baby, all day long.
So I would go with Robin Big. I was obsessed with that show. But I liked when they brought Big Black up onto Fantasy Factory, like right around season 3. Fantasy Factory was like my wet dream, and a lot of people my age, we all wanted our own Fantasy Factory. But out of those two shows, yeah, hands down, my favorite's Robin Big. I mean, it was more intimate, right? Because it's just Rob and Big, and sometimes drama, and then sometimes they bring on their family members. But for the most part, it was Rob and Big doing cool ass shit, like breaking Guinness World Records, going and buying a horse,
the tiny horse.
Pig. What's that?
The tiny horse.
The tiny horse. The dog. Just doing really fun stuff. So, Bobby Light.
Bobby Light.
Bobby Light.
You a dirty girl, Bobby Light.
When that came out, I heard the word "dirty girl" at least 18 times a day. It was wild. Yeah, I would say Robin Big.
I got an MTV question to throw right back at you, brother. All right,
do.
so seriously, if given the opportunity offer, A, it's a 2-parter. Would you be on a full season of The Real World, and B, pick the city where the show is airing? So you have to A, choose to be on The Real World, and B, what city would you like to star in The Real World in? Not star, I guess, just be on. I guess they're stars. They're actors for sure, but.
So, yes, and I have not Real World, but I have auditioned for a reality TV show. It was King of the Nerds. It was season 2. I didn't make it, but I loved the process. I love reality TV shows. I want to be on one. I think it would be one hell of an experience. So if I was on The Real World, I would do it, and I would probably want to do. Can it be a city they've already done, or I have to pick?
Yeah, no, it could be any city you choose.
It would have to be a city where there's a lot of stuff we could do.
Yeah.
So I like Las Vegas. I love the Las Vegas season, the New York season. You know what? I think I would do The Real World Boston.
Okay, all right. I can see you up in there. I can see you doing that. Yeah.
Because it would be. It wouldn't just be us having sex and doing drugs and drinking all the time. There would be more to life. if that makes any sense.
In Boston, there's nothing else to do. Eating clam chowder.
So in Boston, we could go to games. We could eat this amazing food. There's a culture there. We could go out and see historical stuff. But we would still have that party lifestyle. We wouldn't be that far from like New York City or I don't know. I would do like I think Boston would be a good one to do. Las Vegas would like Los Angeles, and I think that would just be too crazy. And I think I would get bored with that kind of fun after a while.
Okay.
So that's
I
my
got you.
answer.
Cool. Solid. I dig it. I dig it. I absolutely would, in a heartbeat, be on any reality. Like, if I had the choice, I'd be on Jersey Shore, family vacation, if I'm being honest. But I'd be on the real world, and I'd probably pick a city they've not done. I'd probably pick something like, they've not done a Hawaii, have they?
I don't think so. No.
Or Alaska. Real world Alaska. Nailed it. Let's do it. Real world Juneau.
The problem with doing things like that, like real world Fargo, right? Or it would just there's only so much you can do that it would get real boring.
That's why the juicy stuff is the drama at the house.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
where the
true.
juicy stuff is.
It's
Cool. Excellent. All
very
right. What you got? Fire
very
away.
true. Best movie from the 80s.
That's a hard question. I mean, it really is. Like the best movie from the 80s. Back to the Future.
That's my answer.
I go Ghostbusters, I go Back to the Future, I go like Batman 89, and for me, like there's just something extra special about Back to the Future.
I gotta go Back to the Future.
It encompasses more of my like it is more 80s feeling for me, and then of course I love Huey Lewis in the News.
Right.
So
yeah, the backdrop is very 80s because it was filmed in the 80s. The music, yeah, it's all the clothing. It's yeah, it's also my favorite movie. So my answer is also Back to the Future. Yeah,
speaking of that, did you watch the newest episode of The Mandalorian?
I did. I did. And yes, my jaw hit the ground when I saw who was the bad guy of the episode. Which was funny too, because I said right away when he came on, I was like, well, there's your guy that you're looking for.
He was all, I mean, I don't know. Like, I love Christopher Lloyd in anything, but he plays a much better bad guy in, like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I was trying to think of all the bad guy roles, right? And, he's sort of a bad guy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because he's more of an antagonist than, like,
Yeah.
protagonist.
He doesn't really he doesn't play a villain too much.
No.
But when he does, he kills it.
Come on. What's your honest reaction of Lizzo and Jack Black?
I didn't hate it like everybody else. They did just fine. Yes, Jack Black was a little bit more goofy than I want in my Star Wars, but at the end of the day, Lizzo's not an actress, and I think she did fine.
I think so too. It did. I don't like when something just immediately takes me right out of something. It just took me right out of it. And I'm like, those characters will not, unless they're playing pivotal roles later. It's one off, and I'm like, just that could have been anybody. It didn't have to be Jack. I get it, like I did, but it just didn't have to be Jack Black and Lizzo. Like Christopher Lloyd, he didn't really. I mean, he didn't have any hair. It's like he wasn't like pushing. Like there was no Doc Brown in him at all. So I was like, okay, yeah, but like it was just a little bit too distracting. I didn't hate their performances, but I just wish they weren't in there.
Yeah, when A-listers are in shit like that, it doesn't take me out of the show or the movie. The only thing that took me out was, like I said, Jack Black's humor was over the top because that's who he is. He doesn't know how to not to do that.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't a character. It was like, oh, there's Jack Black. I'm like, man, what's Jack Black doing in Star Wars?
So I've met Jack Black in real life, and that's him. Anytime, so if you see Jack Black in a movie and he's being serious, that's him acting. Prime example, the Jackal, right? When he is with Bruce Willis and they're doing the whole gun scene and stuff, that's Jack Black acting. Or Enemy of the State, right? Where he's playing the computer guy. That's him acting. But when he's in Star Wars or Jumanji or Tropic Thunder, that's the real Jack Black. So I don't know.
Gables, baby. Yep.
Yeah, he took me out a little bit, but overall, I love the episode. I thought everyone did great, so I don't know. I'm all for it. Is it my turn or your turn?
It's my turn to ask you a question.
Okay, yeah.
Because you asked me about the best 80s movie. So it's a perfect segue. So, what's your favorite role, like a villainous role, played by a typically comedic actor? So, an actor that's known for comedy, but chose to play a villain role.
Mm, I like John C. Riley and Godzilla, or not
Okay.
Godzilla, Kong.
Yep.
Um, that's a really good question.
For me, I'll go ahead and tell you mine. It's 1 hour photo. Robin Williams.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Hit the brakes. If you all out there have never seen
You
One
need to.
Hour Photo, it's one of the best thrillers of all time.
And if you've not seen it, I'm going to go ahead and tell you either on the horror channel or the main channel. I'm going to do a review of 1 hour photo in the next couple of weeks.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's unnerving. It just still gives me the creeps, man.
It also shows, like, okay, we've seen Robin Williams in dramas and in comedy. He can do it all. But when you see him in a thriller where he's playing a sadistic son of a bitch and he kills this, you knew after 1 hour four, like, this guy can do every single role you give him. It's crazy. Yes. That was also probably my favorite time of Robin Williams when he was doing, what is it?
Insomnia.
Insomnia, Final Cut, um, uh, What Dreams May Come. I mean, that was like, it was a time Robin was like, you know what? I'm going to take a step back from comedy and just start doing everything. And it all worked.
Absolutely.
Like, it's crazy.
And I'm thinking about that. Like, I think there's some contemporary people now. Like, so I know that Steve Carell has played drama, but has he ever played like just a murderer or a villain or someone that's super evil? Oh well, Foxcatcher. He was in Foxcatcher. That guy was an evil bastard for sure in real life.
Yeah. I was going to say he is insanely good in Foxcatcher. But
But I
I
think
think what
he's a
helped,
great serial killer. I think that he would do a great job.
what helped, I think helped in that role, and I've noticed this too. If you put any kind of prosthetics on a comedic actor, it helps them uh, deliver that dramatic role you want.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, Steve Carell's he's never really played a serial killer or anything like that. He would kill it.
it would be
No
great.
pun
Literally,
intended. He
literally.
would definitely kill that. Oh wait, what was your answer? Oh,
Oh,
yours
one
is
hour
Rob
photo.
Williams.
Yeah.
You're Rob Williams. Okay. Oh, here we go. Best movie set around Wall Street.
Best movie set around Wall Street.
So about Wall Street, it's in that world.
American Psycho.
Ooh, that wasn't even on my radar. Yeah. Mine is Boiler Room, but
Nice.
yes. Fucking America.
Hands
Oh,
down, American Psycho.
I know you're on the horror channel, which if you're watching right now, Noah is on the Geek Pulse horror channel. We do have multiple channels, so definitely go subscribe to the Geek Pulse horror channel. He does amazing content over there. So if you weren't on the horror channel, what would your answer be that's not horror related?
That's a satire, baby. That's not a horror movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you that. But my answer is Boiler Room.
But no, if I didn't, all right, I'll pick another. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's
my second. Yeah, American Psycho, then Wolf of Wall Street.
My second's just Wall Street. I think Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen are fucking fantastic in that movie. So yeah. All right, what's your question?
All right, so for me, best like slapstick like series, right? So I'm gonna give you three. You gotta tell me which one you like better. The like any Monty Python, like just Monty Python period as a troupe. The Broken Lizard guys as a troupe, or like their ensemble.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's their thing. That's their jam.
Yeah.
Or Kids in the Hall.
Those
guys when they're doing like Best in Show. So if you're thinking of like Kids in Hall, you're doing like Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman, and then of course like the Monty Python guys or like the Broken Lizard crew.
So Monty Python, because they were the beginning. They started all that stuff.
Laurel and Hardy were the beginning.
But... Well, no, because that was kind of just them. I'm talking about an ensemble, right?
I feel
it's like more than like five guys. Flying Circus, their movies, The Holy Grail and The Life of Brian are some of my favorite comedies of all time. Broken Lizard movies don't even register on my radar. Don't get me wrong, I love Super Troopers, Beer Fest, but they're not on like my top 20 lists. As for the Best in Show team, the Kids in the Hall, there's a lot of that cast that I just don't care for.
Oh wow.
You
know, like the Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara and whoever.
Yeah, there's just I don't know. Like with the Broken Lizard group, I love them all. Monty Python, I love that entire cast. So
who's
yeah,
who's Jamie Lee Curtis married to? She's married to one of the Kids in the Hall guys, right?
I don't know who she's married to.
She's married to one of them. I think she's married.
Oh, her husband. Yeah, her husband was just on the Oscars.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, I can't think of his name off the top of my head though.
No, me neither. Maybe that's maybe that's why because you don't. I can name all of the Monty Python guys.
So is that who your answer is?
Yeah, and well, no, actually, I don't know. I go back and forth because I do love I'll put on Waiting for Guffman or Best in Show and all these sort of mockumentaries. But then that's also the freaking Crank It Up to 11. It's also Spinal Tap. That's the same guys too, and I love those sort of mock. So I have to go with those because I love a mockumentary. I don't know what it is about me. I just love those sort of as a genre. I'm all about a mockumentary.
Spinal Tap is fantastic.
Also, I believe there's probably even people that watch our channel that's probably never seen This Is Spinal Tap.
Probably not.
I will say a kid that's born now, like a millennial, would even enjoy This Is Spinal Tap.
Probably not. Yeah. I will say my favorite ensemble comedy cast though is the Apatow group.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Nailed it. Yeah.
Seth, Jonah. It's funny too, Greg, because they reinvented comedy. Yes. They brought comedy back into the fold. Comedy, I feel like, yeah, we had Weekend at Bernie's 2 and Mannequin 2. We had good stuff in the 90s. Major Pain, things like that. But
God, Major Pain.
I think there was a dry spell from 99 to 2007, right? And then boom, we got 40-Year-Old Virgin, super bad, Knocked Up. I Love You, Man. We got all this amazing comedy, and then they ended it with This Is the End, and ever since then, comedy's kind of dead again.
Paul Rudd would also play a great serial killer. Because he's got that
1,000%.
He's got that vibe.
Yes. Yes. All right. Next question. Let's do this. Best toy line.
Ooh, damn. Okay, so kid of the 80s, we're in 1080s buttons. I've got legitimately Ghostbusters toys back here. So a line is, for me, it's NECA.
Okay. NECA that's a good one. I like that.
Is mine. Because I was like, man, it's so versatile. And it's hard to even say it's a line because then they've got maybe NECA horror if I need to put it down. But it's for me the real Ghostbusters is probably my real answer. That's what I play with the most. I had more of the real Ghostbusters toys than any other action figures. I still have some shit in the box. I loved it because especially the transforming villains, like the quarterback ghost and Granny Ghost and all that shit, and the firehouse was so much fun. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna say the real Ghostbusters. That's what I should have went with, but anything NECA makes is just
fun. I grew up Mattel. The Turtles line was my favorite, but now that I'm an adult, my favorite line is the McFarlane DC stuff.
Yeah.
McFarlane in general. He's the king of toys for a reason. The amount of detail he puts in to everything.
Movie Maniacs. Those Movie Maniacs he did back in the day, where he did the horror, the Movie Maniacs line.
Oh yeah,
the best. Oh my god.
He just spoiled the Flash Batmobile, the Keaton Batmobile, and the amount of detail he put into this thing, it's insane. So
I'm gonna buy the shit out of that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna buy the fuck out of that, dude. All of it. I want the unmasked statue too, on the DC line. Actually, I was in Books A Million. action figures. Joker, the Scarecrow, Batman they just came out, and I didn't buy any of them, but they looked amazing. Like especially the like Dark Knight Bale figure looked much better than it should for a 12-inch figure. Not 12-inch, 8-inch, whatever it is. It's great.
All right, so Noah's NECA, I'm McFarlane / Mattel, and I think we both agree that the best toy line is the Hot Toys. Because they're like real.
Do you have any Hot Toys?
I do. I never seem to have $500 laying around.
Go figure.
It's the same reason I don't have busts or statues. I just never. I can never justify. Dude, it breaks my heart when I have to justify spending $125 on like a movie box set. Like, I can't drop. Like right now, I don't know if he still has it, but Captain's Comics is a toy and comic book store here in Charleston. He had this Iron Man statue for the longest time. I don't know if he still has it, but it's like $850. And this thing is just the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I can't justify dropping that much money on something I'm just going to stare at.
The only other spot, I will also give you this, though. If you go to Sideshow Collectibles, I do love that you can do payment plans.
They do. Yes. That is it's not a new thing, but it is a newer thing. So like back in like 2009, and they weren't doing those layaway plans. Speaking of that, Captain's Comics, and I know a lot of other comic book stores have started doing this.
Smart.
Shout out to Heroes and Dragons. They now will let you do layaway and make weekly payments towards your key books.
That's
so
great.
If you want, like, I gotta have the first appearance of the Punisher. I've gotta have that first appearance of Deadpool. A lot of these comic book stores will now let you make weekly payments towards that. So I think that's a fantastic thing. I wish they would have done that back when I was a kid.
I love that. But what if someone, like, how does that work? So do they take the book off the shelf for you and just assume that you're going to get it? But what if someone comes in there and sees it and like, I'll pay face value for that right now?
No, so the way they do it, it's like an actual layaway plan. They'll take the item off the shelf. They put your name on it, usually probably with like an envelope or something. Some of that times these places have lockers or safes they put it in. And then you come in and you make your weekly payments. But you also sign the contract with a lot of these stores that's saying if you don't make a payment, then you only have so much time and then it gets released back. And then obviously you don't get your money back. Some of them might give your money back, but it's like any other layaway plan. They don't keep it on the shelf. That'd be fucked up.
Yeah, but like so many collectors, they walk into a comic book store, it's like, hey, do you have the first appearance ever? And it's like, well, yeah, I don't really have it. It's kind of like hell for somebody. And then me being kind of a dick, I was like, I need that book. How much? I'll pay.
Well, if they're holding it for someone, they would never tell you that they have it.
Oh, good. Well, then they're legit business. That's great.
But like the 17,000 comic book stores I've been to or in toy stores, I've never met a shitty one yet.
That's good. That's why they're in. That's why they're still in business.
I take that back. There's one in Charleston. I'm not gonna name him. He's kind of a shitball. But
Raptor Comics.
Which one?
Raptor Comics.
I didn't say that.
I said it. I don't give a shit.
All right, what you got for me?
Martin or the Jamie Foxx show?
Ooh, Martin, hands down.
Wow. Okay.
I love both, but like me and my mom, we were obsessed with Martin. Like,
okay, that makes sense.
That was like a nightly show for us. Same with like Arsenio Hall. Like my mom was the best mom. She would actually let me stay up until like midnight so I could watch Arsenio Hall with her. I remember to this day the Bill Clinton episode. I watched that shit live, y'all. I'm old. But yes, Martin, hands down.
Good choice. For me, it's a Jamie Foxx show.
Mario movie was great. Screw the critics.
That's what I'm talking about. Fucking screw them critics. It was great. Yes. I love that you loved it, man. I was worried, really, when you were getting discouraged, especially because that's something you love, man. Don't let anyone else tell you what to love and how to love it. You do it yourself.
Hell yeah. Great movie. All right, next question. We got a big one here. All right. Best TV show that got canceled too soon.
Well, I meant, like, that's the thing. Like, I say something like Firefly, and then I mean it, but I don't want to be in the camp that is their go-to answer. So
Firefly is always the go-to answer.
I'm going to tell you one, and you will never have heard of this show. And I recently dug it out of my memory banks because I thought it was a fever dream. Grace Randolph should be embarrassed by her review. All right, hold on to that. I'm going to talk about Grace Randolph in a second. I'm going to tell you, when I say the title of this show, you're not going to believe it. It ran for like 2 episodes. I had to look it up on Wikipedia to make sure I wasn't crazy. It's called The 1,000 Lives of Captain Jack, or Black Jack Savage. 1,000 Lives of Captain Black Jack Savage. Really. It's just a crazy show. How does Grace Randolph have so many subscribers? Also, I got a new Bowser plush. Ooh, I bet that's awesome, Creed. Grace Randolph has lots of subscribers for 3 reasons. God, I don't want to say, but she's been doing it a long time. She's longevity. Right?
We'll go with that.
She has longevity. Easy on the eyes for.
I love how you're frozen right now as you're talking about it.
On my.
Yeah, you were frozen and robotic on my side. I've never heard of the show you're talking about. No, never.
It was great.
Mine, I think, will always be Revolution. That show had such an amazing concept. It's
the Under the Dome was canceled.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, a great cast, great story. Sad it got canceled. All right, let's hear about your Grace Randolph.
Played The Last of Us, but I'm about to tell you my opinion on it. Like, what she does, and she does it well. So I don't know.
It's a tie between Twister and Aliens. See, Creed's saying you're frozen too. You're still frozen.
Now, though.
Well, you're not frozen now. Now you're all pixelated and jumping around, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I would, yeah. So out of the 2 roles, I'm gonna go with Twister because Twister's more of a role. He played the lead, second lead, so I'm gonna go with Twister.
Frailty.
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's up there. That's a good one. I like that.
Hit me with another one. I want to congratulate ourselves and our hard work. Did you see that we got channel?
Yes, we're at over 15,000 or 1,500 subscribers and 700,000 views, and we're almost at 300,000 short views. So yeah, that's all amazing. We're getting there.
A moving guy. I don't want to be frozen up.
Yeah, you're pixelated as all hell. What are your thoughts on Superman and the Mole Man? It's honestly, it's sad that it's a Superman movie that doesn't get talked about anymore. Obviously, because it's George Reeves, and After the Christopher Reeves movies took off, those movies just ended up disappearing. People just forgot about them, and it's sad. I think they were awesome for what they were. They're very campy. George Reeves was an amazing Superman, amazing Clark Kent. So yeah, I think Noah's still trying to fix himself. No, you did not. Um,
Are you serious? Am I still frozen?
you're not frozen. You're pixelated, and you're really slow. And every now and then, your voice comes through like a robot. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the connection. To everyone that has joined, hello. we we swear it's not ever this bad. Um,
Professionals. They can rewatch all the awesome stuff. Shit. Fuck. Damn. That's enough cuss words. All right. I'm gonna throw another question at you then.
okay.
Or what did you? What was your question to me?
Thoughts on Superman and the Mole Man?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay,
The Mario movie.
you're getting back to normal now.
Hell yeah. The Mario movie surpassed Frozen 2. Yes, it did.
Yeah,
It sure did, Creed.
awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, Noah's
Everyone
finally
that's
back.
joined us, yeah, you guys love the Mario movie. Let us know in the comments below. I've still not seen it, but just tell me about it. So, all right. If you could choose between only two genres of film to watch for the next year, all right, you had to choose just two. I'll let you choose yourself, but like you literally, even if you see the greatest trailer in another genre outside of this, you can't watch it. You only have to pick two genres just to watch for a whole year. What would it be?
Well, I'd have to do. That's tough. That's
That's
tough.
tough, dude. That's a tough
And
question.
I also, guys, and girls, I know why he said two. Um, Donkey Kong died in the movie. Well, well, let's nope, he didn't do that. Let's not.
I love it when he jokes, man. He's such a jokester. Love you, Creed.
Um, okay. Anyway, I know why you did that because with three or with two, I can't pick comic book, horror, and drama.
Nope.
So if I don't say drama, I lose A24. If I don't say horror, I lose my favorite genre. And if I don't say comic book, I lose out on DC and Marvel movies. Oh, um,
Creed
I
said horror is one of the ones he would pick. Better
I
Call Saul season 6 on Netflix. Yeah, buddy.
I can't give up horror. It's my favorite genre. Now the next year I can watch those movies. I just have to wait an extra year, is what you're saying?
You got to wait a whole year.
I think I can wait an extra year for the A24 movies, but I cannot wait an extra year for the Marvel movies. So horror and comic book are my two genres I'm watching.
Okay. Creed just said that Shazam 2 is underrated, and I agree with you completely. You saw my review of you know my thoughts. I would also pick horror, but I'm going to pick horror, and I like to balance it out. So I want to pick horror and comedy.
Comedy and horror. Okay, okay. I could do without
And I
comedy.
could wait
If this was
wait on Marvel.
2010 to 2008, yeah, I couldn't give up comedy. But comedy's dead right now, so I'm fine with that. Um,
Movie review.
Creed,
Let the hate flow.
Creed, you really, really love the Mario movie. That's awesome, dude. Okay. This was what I was asking Chat GBT for the MTV questions again. Was MTV's Punked a good show? I think Noah's frozen again. Okay.
I'm just thinking. Am I frozen or I'm just. It was a good show.
I enjoyed it.
I don't like Ashton Kutcher. I hate Ashton Kutcher.
I don't hate it.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I think Punked was good for what it was when it came out. It was entertaining when it came out. I own a lot of the seasons on DVD, and I go back every now and then and try to watch them. They're not really watchable anymore. And I know they tried to reboot the show, and it didn't work out. So, yeah, nowadays, I don't think so.
Thank you, Creed. That's the best compliment I've received all day.
Yeah, when you're
He
pixelated,
said I look like a character on the NES.
you
Damn it,
kind of
yes.
do. All right, so all
So
right, what's your next question?
Punked is no modern game show. What game show would you be the host of for first season?
Oh, not dealer, no deal. Oh my goodness, what is that show? It's
Let's
the
make a
show that
deal.
Wayne Brady hosts.
Let's make a deal.
Is that Let's Make It? Yeah, that the one where they're
Yeah.
dressed in cosplay and stuff like that.
Let's make.
Only time I get to watch that is when I'm getting my oil change. So, that's the show I'd be on because Wayne Brady looks like he has way too much fun. Whereas like a lot of these other game shows, it's kind of like the host just doesn't want to be there. So I'd go with Let's Make a Deal. Okay, now you're completely frozen and I can't hear you or see you. On my end, I don't look frozen. I can somewhat hear you. Nope. You're completely frozen. Nope. Still frozen.
How about now?
Okay, now
Here
you're
we
back.
go. Test it one more time.
You're back. You're
I'm
fine.
better now.
Yeah,
Back
I don't know
again.
what's going on,
Jack
y'all.
Blackhead.
I don't know what's going on with our connections, but
Would you consider The Voice a game show?
no, that's a competition show. It's a little different.
Well, that's true. So for me, I like. I'll pick Price is Right.
Well, I like that. Yeah, yeah. Drew Carey looks like he has fun on that show. Yeah,
Yeah, Drew Carey's having a good time. He's having a good time.
that's a good answer. And Bob Barker always looked like he had a good time.
All right, up to the end. Keep your animals spayed and neutered, people.
Another MTV question: Jersey Shore or Florida Bama Shore?
Oh my God. Yeah, Family Feud would be a great one. I don't think I could live up to Steve Harvey though at all.
No.
And I have a high opinion of myself as a person, as you all know. Steve Harvey's the man. Jersey Shore, baby. I love both, but Jersey Shore is the OG. I'm always gonna go for Jersey Shore. And I want to know your answer. And then if it is Jersey Shore, I want to know your favorite character. Or their characters, let's be honest. Who's your favorite person on the Jersey Shore?
Okay, I'm going to pick Florida Bama Shore.
Damn, son. Who's your favorite character on Floribama?
Because, well,
No.
I was going to say Florida Bama Shore because they look like they have more fun, but now that I'm really thinking of the Jersey Shore, those guys have way more fun.
Way more fun.
Yeah, I'm going Jersey Shore, and my favorite character on Jersey Shore is Pauly D.
I knew it. I knew you'd be Pauly D, man.
Hands down. How could you not like Pauly D? He's the best.
Snooki's my favorite character.
Oh my God. Of course.
But I do, yeah, Snooki, and then the hashtag. Oh, yes. I'm going to tag Snooki in this. Mary's texting me things back and forth. Yeah, Snooki by far. But I do like Mike the Situation. So Creed was saying that one Peach was a Mary Sue, apparently. Mary Sue's a whole I that phrase is, if you don't answer correctly, you'll be canceled. Yeah, I don't want to be canceled right when I'm going on to my rise of stardom, right, Dustin? We don't want to be canceled.
That's right. I don't know what's going on right now, but what's your question?
All right, so okay. All right, let me just think of another one real quick. All right. So you're cast in a movie, right? But you do have to do minimal stunt work, right? Nothing like climbing up a mountain or jumping down like Tom Cruise style. But would you rather spend 4 months training for like a fight sequence, or 4 months training to do like a motorcycle stunt scene?
So I grew up doing martial arts. I was in Taekwondo. I was in Kuk Soo Won. I did a little bit of Muay Thai. So I know that lifestyle and I love it. I actually love motorcycles, but I don't love riding them. or driving them. So I would go fighting.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I would love to just the process of like learning something new. And I should have picked a third one, like learn to play an instrument for a role.
Well, during COVID, or the pandemic, when we were locked in our homes, I learned how to play the guitar. So I could do that for a couple of. So something I always wanted to do when I was in martial arts was to travel over to Tibet or to China or to Japan, and actually live in a monastery with those guys for like a whole year and have them train me. I think that would be the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, to be taught by them would be
A dream.
insane. Like, don't get me wrong, growing up, all my masters and senseis were phenomenal. A lot of them were black belts, but those guys over there, they transcend that stuff. I mean, they train all day. Like, you get up, you eat, you do your chores, and then you just train and meditate. And I think that's an amazing lifestyle.
Get another question for me?
Well, what's your answer?
Oh, for me, it would be the motorcycle stuff. Like I would like to learn to be like how to do like, especially like I like the idea of like, am I frozen again?
No, Creed said that I want to live that anime fantasy or lifestyle.
Yeah. But for me, yeah, because I like the idea. All right, so I'm going down a course. I'm learning to do motorcycles. I can pop a wheelie, but also like there's a jump I have to do. I like the idea of like being on a harness and like just being hoisted up, and the motorcycle goes over. So for me, it'd be like motorcycle, for sure.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
It's a redneck in me, man. Sorry, I was like, yeah,
All right.
there's a motorcycle.
Finally, this is not an MTV question. All right, rank these 90s kid shows from best to least. Biker Mice, Double Dragon, Street Fighter, Turtles, and Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Biker Mice, Street Fighter.
No, Street Sharks.
Oh, yeah. All right. So Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Street Sharks. Man, favorite movie YouTuber mine is 3C Films. I do want to give a shout out to 3C Films. They also support the channel and do some awesome stuff. So yeah, let's go with Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Street Sharks, Biker Mice, and then any others. Turtles. Oh my god, it's hard. Yeah, I'll still put Turtles under that because I like, even though they're all like creatures, right? Is that the theme we're going here?
For the most part, except for Double Dragon. I go Turtles.
Still dragon in the name, so
Turtles, Double Dragon because I love the villains, Moo Mesa, Biker Mice, and then Street Sharks. I wasn't the biggest Street for Sharks fan. I didn't like their stories.
Maybe I love the concept more than the stories. So Mary has a question, and I think she did it in a text, and I think I got the gist of it. But like, we're gonna do like superhero boy bands. So I guess the question would be, what superheroes would be in a boy band, or what NSYNC members? What superheroes would the NSYNC members play in the movies? Either way, let's talk about superhero boy bands.
Well, Justin would be a Superman.
Okay, yeah.
Lance would be Aquaman.
Okay, all
right. Joey would be Cyborg. Right? That's a hard one. I don't know.
I think that like, so I know Joey loves Superman. I would put Joey as Deadpool.
Oh, I didn't even
be Superman. Yeah, Joey would be Superman. Yeah,
I was sticking with DC. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's say yeah. I think Joey would be Deadpool. Justin would probably be. I see more of
a Flash.
Yeah. Lance. I think Lance would probably be like
a good Booster Gold.
Oh, he'd be great as Booster Gold. This is coming together. And Luke Perlman, who's dead now, would be the Blob in Marvel. Deadpool 3 will be good, Creed. Deadpool 3 is going to be one of the best superheroes.
I'm impressed you didn't have to look up the names.
She's
We
impressed by
love
you.
NSYNC.
She's impressed by you, not me. You do love NSYNC.
I'm sorry.
I do love NSYNC.
Hold on, come on.
In my NSYNC shirt and everything.
All right. So what was the actual question?
The actual question is, if you had to create a boy band out of superheroes,
Create a boy band out of superheroes.
which superhero would be each boy band stereotype?
Okay.
So the baby, the bad boy, the funny one, etc.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Basically, you take the Spice Girls, but make them super. Here, I got the question. All right, so I would have Batman would be the bad boy.
Batman's the bad boy. Okay.
Superman is the do-gooder, the pretty boy, like Justin.
Yep.
Booster Gold would be the flamboyant,
Yep.
one that we all really love. Let's see. The drugged out one would most likely be probably Green Arrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so I got the bad boy,
that's all of them.
Do-gooder, the druggie, the flamboyant. Well, that's 98 Degrees. Most boy bands are 5 members, right? 4 to 5. Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's good. Yeah, Blue Beetle does look good, Creed. I'm very excited about Blue Beetle. I cannot tell. I should have did a reaction of the trailer because that trailer blew me away.
Yeah, neither one of us did a reaction to that trailer because we were really busy that day, and we tend not to do reactions to movies after a day or two because it's a Geek Pulse policy.
We got policies here. We're official.
We're official. All right. Favorite
Great question, Mary. Great question.
That was a great question. I love that question. Favorite board game?
Oh, Don't Wake Daddy. No, I'm just joking.
Well, that's a good one.
It is a good favorite board game, period. Man, I'm going to go with Chutes and Ladders, baby.
That is a Noah Drake Bell answer, y'all.
Chutes and Ladders is legitimately the only, it's my favorite board game.
Mine's hard. It's probably maybe Hero Quest or Mousetrap's really fun. Monopoly.
Monopoly.
No, hands down, my favorite board game of all time is the Star Wars version of Risk.
Yes, I take mine back. I have another one too because I thought, but Chutes and Ladders is right up there. Seen It. When Seen It came on, I mean, we're movie nerds. Seen It, I'd get so competitive playing Seen It.
We should do Seen It on Live.
Holy shit! Now what we're talking. We should. That's what we should.
All right, y'all. If you're all watching, probably next week or the week after, we'll do Seen It live. What is it?
Mario Kart Monopoly is pretty good. Okay,
that's a good one. I think it's called Quest for Camelot. It's an interesting board game where one of the party members is actually like an evil doer, but nobody knows who the evil guy is except for that person.
You got it.
Mary
wants to be a guest star. Yeah, Mary will be a guest star for Seen It. That'd be cool. Hell yeah.
Risk is where friendship go. Well, I didn't see all that.
Yeah, that risk ruins friendships.
Most board games ruin friendships.
So does Trouble. The Pop-O-Matic bubble, baby. I get so competitive playing Trouble.
All right, what you got for me?
Man, my favorite board game one is great. I can talk about board games all the time. Remember that time when you ate hot wings and Bean Boozled? I love that you remember that. We need to do that again. See, all right. He don't want to do it. He don't want to do it. He don't want to do it. And I get it. I don't get it.
The Bean Boozled, it was bad. I would do that again. The problem is the hot ones actually messed me up. If you didn't watch that episode, I have some fun trivia games somewhere. Yeah, you do. We should definitely play trivia. If you missed that episode of our live, I picked a sriracha, and I accidentally grabbed the ghost pepper.
No, the Carolina Reaper.
Or the Carolina Reaper. And it's juices, right? So it's concentrated. And I got it on my tongue. and it burned me for like a good 2 hours. So
I wish I'd filmed all the behind the scenes shit where you eating, drinking the milk and all that stuff. Oh my god, it was
we
so
should
fun.
go. I was at my fridge messed up. I don't want to do that again, but yeah.
Shout out to Creed too for remembering these past live streams. Those live streams. Hey, buddy, if you want to do some more, I'll do some more, man. Let's eat that durian fruit. Let's do like a pickled herring challenge. Let's do all these things.
All right, y'all. We're gonna be
I'll
coming
eat
up
bugs
here.
for you.
Think Sal Goodman has a good heart, no sport. Guys, do you think Sal Goodman has a
No.
good?
No.
You know what? I think Sal. I think he tries, right? I think he has a good heart. It's just in the wrong place.
Man, I should have taken you toe to toe when I brought that ghost pepper jerky. Oh, ghost pepper jerky sounds good.
Probably. All right, y'all. We're gonna end this here soon. So what we're gonna do is I want to try to finish as many of the chat GPT questions.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be me asking the questions until we end here because there's some good ones in here. And if you're just joining us, I asked ChatGPT for a lot of questions. So, all right. Oh, here you go. This is just for you, Creed. This is not ChatGPT. This question was put in here for Creed. Noah, what are your ideas? What could they do for the next Mario movie?
The party just got started.
There
Hey,
you go.
the next Mario movie or the next Nintendo Universe movie?
Mario movie.
The next Mario movie should be Yoshi's Island.
It's funny you say that because you haven't seen the movie.
That's the end credit scene, baby. I tell you, I look at spoilers. I know spoilers.
I think personally, I think the next Mario movie should be Mario Galaxy, and
I thought about that.
He actually starts going to the universes because here's what I think. I think they're going to have a Nintendo universe, but I think they're going to do another Mario movie to lead into that. I think this Mario movie, this was the test to see if they could actually do it. So I think the next one's going to be, and it could be like a Luigi's Mansion.
Bowser's Kids? Okay.
Yes, they should. Yes, they should.
They should have Wario too. Wario.
Yes, I would end the next movie with Wario.
That's
like
good.
Him be the credit scene.
What you got?
What is this? Thoughts on the thoughts on the new Star Wars movies, but we already touched base.
We already talked about that. Yep.
We already talked about that.
If you guys missed that, then just rewatch this video.
Yeah, ChatGPT didn't know we were going to talk about that. Or adopt kids wherever. That's okay.
He can't decide whether they're going to be real kids or adopted kids.
Thoughts on trading card games?
I think that trading card games, I don't understand trading card games when you don't play the games. So for me, is I get it when people collect like Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering and things like that. But if they don't utilize those things, I don't understand it in my mind. Like, I think that like trading card games are fun played together, but can you hear me? Is the sound cut out?
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, let us know. Trading card games could be super fun when played with people. I don't understand people that just collect trading card game things that don't play the games. That's my opinion.
Oh, the collector aspect. Well, so like Pokemon, they collect Pokemon. So I get they are for nerds. I mean, I'm a nerd, so yeah, they're
for me.
My thoughts on trading card. Well, I've been obsessed with them my whole life. So, best film director. Not who's your favorite. Who's the best film director?
Stanley Kubrick.
Ooh, I like that.
Not my favorite, but I think he's probably the best.
I like that.
Or Hitchcock.
I think the best film director.
Maybe Scorsese. I don't know. It's hard.
I think it's Coppola.
Okay.
I think he's the best. Or Del Toro. He's up there.
Definitely up.
Best. You know, it's like a go-to answer, like Firefly, but Steven Spielberg.
That's probably the answer, really.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have Back to the Future if it wasn't for. Yeah, actually, we wouldn't have a lot of stuff. So Steven Spielberg,
Goonies.
he doesn't direct a lot of stuff that we love, but what he does is he gets those scripts into the hands of the right people, and he helps get those movies made. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with Steven Spielberg.
Hell
I
yeah.
think he's an amazing director, and he has done more for the film industry than any other person.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. Let's segue into film and film directors. Mary wanted me to tell you, Nerdy Dustin, that she likes your Rough House beanie.
Yes.
And for
Yes.
people that may be watching, what does that even mean? Rough House. What is it? How's it tie into directing?
So Rough House is Danny McBride, Jody Hill, and David Gordon Green's collaboration, their studio, their company.
Lean in a little bit to do the logo. See a little bit. Yeah. All right.
So if you don't know, they do the Righteous Gemstones. They do all those Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, and now they're into the horror genre, right? So they're doing Halloween. They've got the Exorcist prequel coming out. So
Sequel.
Noah and me have worked on the Righteous Gemstones with these guys. I did a few days on Halloween Ends. They're just amazing group of people. They're super talented. I know a lot of you know Danny McBride for his comedy, but he's so much more than that, y'all. He is, I mean, Jody Hill, phenomenal. If you have, okay, there's a movie that came out last year called Bones and All. Definitely watch that because it's amazing. But also Jody Hill, like, pretty much makes his acting debut, and he's phenomenal for the little bit of parts he has. David Gordon Green is the best up and coming director. And he's been doing it for a while, but
he stars in the rise. And we wouldn't
is,
know Gavin, we wouldn't know Emma, we wouldn't know Valen, all these wonderful people that we had we were blessed, honestly, to be able to interview all of these people on the show. And we can't wait to do more interviews. But yeah, we wouldn't know all those people without it.
yes.
And Emma being in Pink Ladies, we talked about that earlier too. And like, guys, go watch Pink Ladies if you're not already. That's definitely a hell of a show. It's so good.
Yes, Rough House pitch. Danny and them, they know talent. And if it wasn't for we got Gavin, we got Emma. Yes, Rough House is an amazing production company. It's one of my favorites.
They bring a lot to Charleston. That's where we're from. That's where we live. They bring a lot of like jobs and stuff. They're great freaking people, man.
That they are. We got a few more here.
What you got?
Oh, this is a good one. Pokemon or Digimon?
Digimon.
It's Digimon, hands down. Digimon. So Pokemon, right, is the same episode over and over again until they get to like a big gym battle or a big tournament. But overall, it's the same episode. Digimon, though, yes, technically a lot of those episodes are the same thing, but they also have an overall arching story that you can follow from start to end.
But actually, my favorite out of the two, my favorite is probably Welcome to the Island, Mon.
Yeah. Another one of these questions: Transformers toys or GI Joes?
GI Joe toys, because like Transformers are like robots or vehicles. But with GI Joe, you could have big ass play sets that are vehicles, and you had tons of different characters. So the variety in GI Joe is much more than Transformers.
So I'm with Noah here solely. So GI Joes, yes, their play sets are the biggest toys on the planet, like the carrier, the bases, and the amount of characters and weaponry and vehicles. Yeah. Plus, I didn't have to learn how to play with them.
I still can't fucking put Transformers together. Fuck that shit.
If you bought a Transformer back in the day and you lost that instruction booklet, you were just boned.
It just was like trash.
Best season of Sons of Anarchy.
The last season.
The
last season was the best season.
Yeah, to me, it's a tie between the last season and the season 6. Season 6 with Clay. Spoiler alerts. Have you not seen Sons of Anarchy? So last season, a lot of major characters are killed off, which then sets up the last season. And the last season, the main character Jax goes fucking crazy. So yeah, I
Why
agree.
is he not?
Yeah.
Why has he not been in any superhero movies?
I think after Pacific Rim, I don't think he wanted to. If you really watch his career, he fucking hates CGI.
Yeah, but I'm sure he loves money. So
Yeah, but he makes enough with Guy Ritchie that he doesn't need to do the superhero movies. Ooh, favorite Power Ranger.
the White Ranger, Tommy as the White Ranger.
So yours is the White. My favorite Power Ranger is the Gold Ranger from Zeo. But yeah, the Green Ranger. I'm a huge Tommy fan. So to me, it's either the Green Ranger, the OG Green Ranger, or the Gold Ranger.
Was Zordon ever a Power Ranger?
So Zordon is a Power Ranger in the live action remake that came out a few years ago. He was the original Red Ranger, but in the show, I don't believe he was ever a Ranger.
Wait, Chuck Norris, Texas Ranger, my favorite Ranger. He had
There you go. The Walker. Favorite movie or TV show you've worked on?
I'm still gonna say the Righteous Gemstones.
So much nostalgia.
So much
That's what we
nostalgia.
do. That's what we do. The Righteous.
Ivan Ooze wasn't a Power Ranger either, but Ivan Ooze is like up there, man.
He was
As far
definitely one of the
as
cooler
villains.
going.
Gemstones.
Wow.
Gemstones for me.
Gems. So that is a really hard question. It's I don't know. Gemstones had the best food. I had the most fun on Enzo. So I'm going with the short film Enzo, and Noah's going with Gemstones. All right. Favorite character from The Walking Dead, and then your favorite character from Fear the Walking Dead. Do you watch those shows?
I watched The Walking Dead religiously. In fact, Mary and I actually just watched the newest episode of Ghost Hunters that had Chandler Riggs as a guest star. And we were able to visually see Chandler Riggs at Dragon Con, man, and I love it. Like, it's so hard. I'm gonna go with Negan. Obviously, is gonna be my answer for The Walking Dead. Favorite character, bar none. I mean, Daryl Dixon is short behind. Now, I love Morgan as well, and he's really the only character that I know that's crossed over to the Fear the Walking Dead. I don't watch it as much, so I can't really answer Fear the Walking Dead. But The Walking Dead, fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and he was in Fall. I was so surprised to see that he was in Fall, man.
That is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's second easiest paycheck. I still think his easiest paycheck was Thomas Wayne because he just walked from one X to the next X. But Fall was enough. Yeah, those are easy paychecks. I love it. Well, did you like Dwight from Walking Dead?
No, not really. Dwight from Walking Dead, the actor, looks like if you bought Christian Bale from Wish.
I need to watch it. Yes, you do. So Dwight, Morgan, and Sherry are the only characters from Walking Dead that transitioned over to Fear. My favorite Walking Dead character is Daryl. Daryl is a badass. I love him. I love Norman Reedus. I think there's a reason they kept him around. There's a reason he's getting his own show. He's just the best. Fear the Walking Dead. I'm gonna probably go with Nick because Nick has the best transformation of like his storyline. From like starting out as a just a drugged out person to becoming a badass. So I'd go with Nick.
I think Mary said that Carol is her favorite character.
Carol is my third favorite character. She also okay, out of every character between all three of the shows, Carol has the biggest transformation.
She absolutely has the biggest transformation.
She literally starts off as a quiet woman that gets beat by her husband, doesn't know how to say no, and then she turns into just be the most badass character in that show. I mean, you don't fuck with Carol.
You don't fuck with Carol. Look at the flowers. I really do want to say agree with Harley, right? She said that I could cosplay Rick Grimes. I'd love to cosplay Rick Grimes.
Ooh, you could.
Or Negan, or both, or like half Negan, half Rick. That'd be the badass cosplay where you almost like a Two-Face, right? Where you cut your jacket in half, like a leather jacket on one side, the police uniform on the other side. That would be a badass.
You could do Negan. I see that.
Lucille's a vampire. Back.
I think that's all the questions. Oh yeah, because this was from last week. Abused women are survivalists. Total makes sense. Yeah, it's true.
Well said, Harley. Well said. Absolutely.
Noah, what's your favorite horror remake?
Get out of here. You better be glad I still do this show with you after your fucking answers last week. You better be glad.
I have taken the entire week.
You're gonna say the same thing. I know you're gonna. Go ahead, do it.
I took the whole week to think about this.
Yours. Say it.
Whole week. It's a long time. It's a week.
7 days, some say.
7 days. That's the same amount of time you get when you watch the VHS copy of The Ring. The best horror remake of all time will always be Dawn of the Dead.
Get out of here. I would have even accepted The Ring because it is a remake of Ringu.
It's technically horror. What? You haven't stopped laughing enough to hear the question.
Best horror remake is apparently Dawn of the Dead, which is the silliest answer I've ever heard. And, but hey, opinions like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Let's see if I can find it. Maybe I don't have it up here.
Yeah, I'm excited about Evil Dead Rise, baby. It's the 21st. Can you believe April 21st, Evil Dead Rise? Mary, everyone, let's just all go see that shit together. I want to see I can't wait to see Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, here it is. This isn't the remake, but the remake of this is probably one of the best horror remakes of all time.
Yeah, I feel you. Good.
Yes, Evil Dead Rise. Yes, we have to all go see that.
We have to all go see that.
So everybody that's seen that so far has been praising the hell out of it. It's the best Evil Dead movie. It's the gore's there, the horror. Yes.
So what I want to do when we wrap up these live streams, I want to give recommendations. So at the very end, because I'm going to steal it again. The best ideas are stolen. It happens on Ear Biscuits, Rhett and Link's podcast. At the very end, they always give a recommendation. So let's recommend nerdy shit. So let's recommend like a movie or TV show to the audience that you like, that you've done, and then physical media. So it could be a book or a trading card game or something like that, action figure. So for me, I'm going to recommend Rise of the Pink Ladies. So if you like Grease at all, if you like that sort of TV show, if you like musicals, definitely check out Rise of the Pink Ladies. That's my TV or movie recommendation. What you got?
You know what? I'm gonna plug myself. I recommend you go check out Enzo on YouTube. You can find it at Alex Joveo's YouTube page. It's about a 25-minute short film, but we have won currently 14 film awards. One of them, and we got nominated for Best Ensemble at the New Jersey Film Festival. It is a phenomenal short film. It's about a boxer who turns to the mafia. I think you'd really love it. The acting is superb. The special practical effects are great for what they were. So yeah, I'm plugging Enzo.
My other recommendation is Life in Stages, the book by Bryan Cranston, sort of an autobiography, but do yourself a favor and download Audible and listen to him read it. I'm currently listening to it right now. I cannot recommend it enough. Life in Stages. If you're into acting or just into Bryan Cranston as an actor, check that out.
And I'm recommending Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. You can pick it up at the Dollar Tree right now for 50 cents.
Best recommendation ever. But if I had to recommend anything, it is keep being like the coolest people you are. Share our channel on your social medias. That's going to help us grow. Keep watching, like, subscribe, all that good shit. Keep loving us. That's what I want to say.
Before we go, I got to ask Noah a question because I have him right now. I bought this for 50 cents. Is this good?
You paid 25 cents more than you should have.
Dang.
Sorry.
All right, y'all. Yeah, keep being nerdy. Keep fingering on that Geek Pulse. Subscribe to not only the Geek Pulse channel, but the Geek Pulse Horror channel as well. And next Sunday, we should be back together and maybe playing Seen It. Because I just realized I don't own it.
That's something you could also pick up at a Goodwill.
That's true. It's at every single Goodwill.
Every Goodwill on the planet. And even Seen It, you don't even know. Friends Seen It. Harry Potter Seen It.
I think we would be good at Friends Seen It.
Mary would be the best at Friends Seen It.
She would, yeah.
I think I'd be the best at Lost Seen It. They don't have that, but who knows?
I'd be best at Sex in the City.
Ooh, not seen it, just having sex in a city.
No.
All right, yeah. Harley owns a couple. Cool.
There we go.
Harley, Mary, Creed, everyone, you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys on the next live stream. Check out our most recent content. Also,
yes, my Mario review is out
there. Mario review, check it out.
Yes, your reaction to
Indiana Jones. Yeah, check that out too.
Yeah.
We love you guys. See you on the next one.
Later.